Welcome to the Mother-Daughter-ish podcast. It's your mama's favorite podcast.
And the podcast your daughter always wanted.
This is Miss Dawn.
And Angelique.
From the 713. Houston, y'all. Get connected and stay connected weekly as new shows debut on Sunday, Wednesday, and please check out our Saturday Out and About showcases.
Enjoy the show. Please subscribe, like, share, comment, and tell every woman on the planet that you know about our show.
Here's our show for today. Well, this is our part 2 of our downtown excursion. Not only did we enjoy going to Birdhouse and going into the tunnel for that, but we then decided we were going to go into the downtown tunnel where you can go from job to job or restaurant to restaurant. You can, there's little businesses under there. We just wanted to walk the tunnel system to just see where it goes, and it's very intricate, you know, the way it goes to different parts of the city downtown. What did you think about the downtown tunnel? Because did you say you did know about it, just hadn't gone, or you really didn't know about it?
I didn't know nothing about it until I think the day we got there. But like I said, I was asking like 6-7 friends in the past couple of days. Literally yesterday, I had a friend call and he was like, yeah, I go there all the time. I'm like, nobody wanted to invite me. Nobody told me about this. Nobody, I mean, I'm not sharing information like this.
I know.
I knew nothing about it. They got convenience stores, hair salons, restaurants, shopping. It's a lot.
That salon was very professional. The products I was smelling real good. I remember when I was a kid and up until a teenager, the only time we ever were allowed to go into the tunnel was if we were with my mom. Like when we used to go downtown for work or whatever, we didn't like the tunnel was not where you were supposed to go. Like it was kind of thought of like, yeah, Candyman gonna get you in there if you go in that tunnel. Oh. So I never went into the tunnel by myself or with friends because I was like, nah, we ain't supposed to do that. But we used to go because they had a lot of shops down there. And if you didn't want to walk outside in the elements, let's just say if it was raining or something, you could go through the tunnel and go back to your car, go back to the bus pot location, or you could go back to your parking spot, or you could go, you know, to another shop or down into up into I would say you'd be under and be going up into the mall because the mall was an upstairs type of situation. So I never thought that after 2017 it got really, really, really flooded under there. So I never thought that they had it back open, because you notice when we were asking people, they were saying, well, I don't even know if it's open. Like, how are you downtown and you don't know?
Because they didn't go themselves. I think
that's what I'm saying. So I kind of got a little nervous thinking, wow, we came down here specifically to go into the tunnel. If it's not open, that's going to ruin the whole experience. But we got there and it was only 1, 2, 3. Actually, they told us 3 blocks, but it was literally 4 blocks over from the Birdhouse, a restaurant that we went to.
Yeah.
It was a nice breezy day, so the walk was great. The only thing I really thought was weird about the walk is that, and I guess I shouldn't say weird, I'll just say it was different. I didn't see too many homeless people. And I'm used to when you go to a downtown situation, there's going to be a lot of homeless, like a lot. And then also back in the day, not only were there a lot of homeless, but then they would bother you. Hey, you got some money, or, you know, say something to you like, oh, you look good. I mean, and I don't miss any of that. It's what I'm saying is that it makes me curious, where did the homeless people go? Where were they transported to? Or where did they leave and go? Did they go to, you know, shelter? Where did they go?
I'm not sure. That's actually a good question, because now that I think about that, I think I only maybe saw one.
Exactly. The one that was right, yeah, at the end when we were getting ready to cross back and he was sitting there, yes.
I've been over here like by us, like on Highway 6 when you go over that hump to get to Katy Freeway. They had a homeless dude, and I think they had picked him up and might have took him to a shelter or something. I think they're doing that more now.
So you know, a few years ago they passed a bill and an ordinance that said that it was illegal to create communities, meaning you can't do like those little tent cities and you can't just
Yeah.
be homeless. And I think that it's a good thing in a sense that two things, because I'm thinking about them getting food and could get housing and all kind of stuff. The thing about it is that, and a lot of those guys are vets and stuff, with girls and guys are vets. And so what homeless people don't realize, and even though, yeah, Star of Hope and all of those wonderful organizations go by and tell them this, but you know, people have different mentalities. And you know, if they have an address, they can get that $733 a month from Social Security, disability, or wherever, as long as they have an address for the check to go to. Because you know, of course, they don't have bank accounts or whatever. But even if you're homeless, you can walk into, you know, any store and get your check cashed or whatever, especially with it being a government check. And then also when they stay at a shelter, at least they will get 3 meals a day. Now, if they want to go out and hang out at nighttime and be homeless where nobody can see them in the dark, that's their business. But it, you know, it is good for them to go there to be able to get their money that's entitled to them just for being an American citizen. That $733 can go a long way. And then after a while, they can get help with us if they want to, I should say. They can get assistance with getting some type of job, even if that means mowing yards or whatever. And then they can also get access to housing through Section 8 and some other opportunities that a lot of people can't even get those particular services. So there are services, especially here in a big city like Houston, that are set aside. But it was strange to me not to see any homeless people downtown, because then I think about what they're talking about over in California, where there's all these tent cities set up and there's homeless people just gathered and just everywhere. And I'm thinking, it almost, and I hate to say this, but it almost makes me feel like they gathered them all up and drove them to another city or state. It was too quiet. The other thing that was weird to me downtown is that it was so quiet. There wasn't a lot of honking horns. There wasn't a lot of, only noise we really heard was construction, right? And the train.
Yeah,
and the train wasn't loud. It just, you knew it was coming because of the sound of the rails. And that's the thing about it. They always tell you these trains are going to be quiet and they ride on these smooth rails, but you'd have to be completely not able to not hear those trains coming miles away, because it does make noise on that rail. You know, that metal hitting that metal is going to make a noise. But I would say overall, the walk from where we parked at to going to the downtown tunnel, which we just happened to find on our cell phone because nobody could help us, I thought it was very pleasurable. And I think the thing that made me feel so nostalgic and made me think of New York is when we went through the construction tunnel. I got so excited I videoed it, because I haven't been through a construction tunnel since I took you to New York for your 16th birthday.
Oh, yeah.
So I like those tunnels because it makes me think of Sex and the City. It makes me think of my trip to New York. It makes, every time I've ever gone to New York, we always walk through those construction tunnels. And I just thought it was kind of fun. It was interesting to be able to do that. And it's just a little, for me, it's the little things. I don't need like big hurrahs or whatever, but I do like the little things that kind of bring you a little bit of happiness. And so that was a lot of fun. And the directions was right. I mean, they were perfect, right? On your phone?
Yeah. It was pretty. It wasn't that many twists and turns we had to do.
All we did was we turned left to the block and then kept going. When we went all the way down to Milam Street, we could have stayed right where we were at the restaurant and just went straight down. But we did what Google told us to do, because it was kind of acting like, I guess if we were in a car, we wouldn't have been able to go that way because it was a one way. But it was very awesome. You got to see a couple of places you had been wondering about, Sambucos, right?
Yeah, I went there only one time, but I see that they have some drag shows during brunch time on Sundays, I think. I took a picture of it.
Yeah, so you've been one time, but you didn't realize, wait a minute, this is where I went, right here downtown. But yeah, I tell you, in like, I would say 2011 to about 2016 or something, that used to be the real hot spot for the real grown people to go to. I mean, it was a great spot to go in, you know.
Yeah, it has like a little jazz vibe to it. They have different singers and bands coming in, and it's real dim inside.
That's why the folks my age used to like to go to Sambucas, because you could get some good jazz music, and it was really grown for. When I say grown folks, sometimes when no 21-year-olds up in there, it was 25 and older pretty much on certain nights, and the jazz music would just be so good. We have so many great jazz players right here in our city, but The parking was always horrible as usual. You know, they had the valet ready for you, but you could go there, get a good meal, you could hang out, you could network, you could meet some people, some friends, or
Now that crab dip was good. I remember that crab dip.
How long ago was that you went?
Uh, Probably it was in 2018.
And you still remember the crab dip? See, this is what I'm talking about right here.
I remember the price. I remember it was like a cheesy crab dip. It was good. It's supposed to be an appetizer, but I really ate that. That was all I had and needed.
Well, you'll love Lost and Found because they have this lobster crab dip that really, really is good. Kind of like the guy made at Certified Hemp Hut when we did the interview there.
Yeah.
It was really good, really spiced out, and then they gave me all kind of stuff to dip in it and everything. It was really good. That was when I took Peyton for her birthday. And they didn't have anything on the menu that I wanted. And I know, I don't be trying to be bougie, but I am not finna sit in a restaurant and put a bill on and get greased up and eat. I just ain't doing that in public. That's for me to be at home. Like when I gotta eat with my hands, I need to be at home, out of the public, not public, but out of the public, where everybody's staring at me because I got sauce all over on my chin. You're not finna see. You will not be seeing that in public. So I kept looking at that menu going, the devil is lying. I'm not finna eat this. And they sitting up there getting the whole crab thing where it had like 5 different meats in it, corn, had eggs, had potatoes, and they sat there with a bib on and gloves. And I said, the devil is a lie, I'm not doing this. I refused to, and it was at nighttime, nobody would have known. I was not gonna, you're not gonna get me on your little smart camera that you got in here and talking about how sauce was running all down my cheek. I did, but what they brought, because they brought the manager out, because he was like, well, I can bring you something special, and I was like, what? And he would say, well, I just bring you something since you don't want to have any meat, you don't want to really get down and grub with gloves and a beer. I was like, sir, it's not happening tonight. And I said, it's my daughter's birthday, and I want to eat too. They was over there chowing down, her and Kayla, whatever her name is. She gonna kill me for not remembering her name. It started with a K. Kyla, that's the name, Kyla. Girl done been all to Mexico with us and everything.
Oh
yeah, can't even think of her name, but yeah, Kyla. They was over there tearing it down. So I think you'll like, if you liked that at Sambu, you'll like the other one too, because that's kind of stuff you like, that cheesy good stuff like that. But when we got there, everything was very self-explanatory, because as soon as we went inside the door, so it's kind of like you're walking into an office building. It has the name on the door that says, though, if you want to go through the tunnel, go to floor whatever. And so we were on the G floor, which is for the ground, and then we went down, right? And when we got down there, it was like, it was like going to, I would kind of compare it to like going to a mall with all the lights cut out, though. You know, it wasn't, the hallways lit very, very well, but like where the smoothie factory was, and I mean, they had okay, let's think about it. They had Smoothie Factory, they had Burritos, they had a full service salon that said they stay open to 9 o'clock. Can you imagine this? You get up in the morning, you go downtown to work, you get your coffee, you grab your little bagel, you go to work. At lunchtime, let's just say you go get your hair trimmed up, okay? Then get you a little something to eat, get your hair trimmed up, go back to work because you had an hour, right? You go back to work, you work until 5 o'clock, and now you can go to the hair salon on Friday. After you go to the hair salon, you looking good, you done had your food today, your nails are good because you had them done while you was getting your hair at the salon, and then you can go and have happy hour with everybody downtown, get home 8 or 9 o'clock, you good and nice. Now,
it's pretty convenient, yeah. When people live downtown, they just stay in their area.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You could do all of that and then just press the number to go to the elevator back up to your floor, to your house. That's how it was when I had the apartment in Louisiana, when I had the
with that store.
Yeah, so I didn't have to really go anywhere. I could just go downstairs. I could not only shop at the grocery store, but I could also buy cooked food, and they had everything I think of, catfish, shrimp, they had everything, etouffee, everything. Yeah. And then if I wanted to go across the street, if I wanted some good old original Italian food, I could go across the street and get that. If I wanted to go hang out and meet some new people and go to a bar or something, there were 7 bars in the area. I don't know if I told you this, but the last time when I went there before I left the apartment, which was in 2018, they had built a Starbucks, a community center where you can come in and get on the internet.
Oh, now they want to.
They also had built, Peyton was happy because she was at that Starbucks every day. And then they built onto next to the Starbucks, they built a some kind of bakery where you could go in and get cakes, but it was all vegan stuff. So I don't know how it tastes, because last time I tasted some vegan cake and stuff, I felt like I ate a piece of cardboard with some icing on top. Oh. So I didn't try any of it, but they really built up that downtown area. But you got to think about it. When I got my apartment there in 2014, that building was a bank. It was Whitney Bank. And I got the apartment fresh as it was finished being built. So I was the only one to have lived there.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so that's the only reason I chose that one, because there were many other apartments. I mean, Jimmy Swaggart, the old pastor from back in the day, he has a whole dorm room type of apartment complex. I was like, ooh, that'd be cool to stay like in a dorm thing. A lot of shenanigans go on with dorm kids. I was like, nah, I don't want to live. But it was a huge apartment. The bedroom was huge. But when I saw this was brand new, fresh, it was downtown, I was like, ooh, I could get a whole new life. I was like, I'm moving in there.
And it was just enough space for you.
Oh, it was perfect. It was perfect to just kind of just work and chill and, work and chill. That's it. But if you live downtown here in Houston, the scenario I just gave you would be so perfect for you. And I would say that doesn't work for everyone, but I think it works really well for a single person. I think it works really well for someone who has to come to Houston to work and then they go back home to their family. But if they're by themselves, I wouldn't say you would want to be out in the suburbs and have to get up every morning and drive an hour or two in traffic and then have to drive an hour or two of home. Because if you really add that up, you would end up spending 3 to 4 hours in your car every day, which can be great because you can listen to podcasts like ours, Mother Daughter Ish. But who wants to spend that kind of time in a car when you could have been spending it enjoying your friends, in your house already, getting your hair done, doing things that help with the maintenance and the betterment of yourself than sitting in traffic. Now, again, sitting in traffic, you can better yourself by listening to, positive things on the radio or good music, or if you have a friend that you carpool with, you could be talking to them. But I'm just saying, just the whole sitting in traffic thing is not sexy at all, But I also saw, like, we saw 1 or 2 convenience stores. That other one we saw was more like had like trinkets in it. It had like teddy bears, like if you wanted to.
Yeah. One was more like a gift shop, and then
that's what I mean to say, like a gift shop. Now, I will tell you this: if you don't pay attention to what you're doing down there, you can get turned around, because it wasn't very self-explanatory if you should go left, right, straight, upstairs. Like, you really, at some point, if you weren't reading every single little thing, you could, because when we got ready to go, we was like turned around, like, okay, now which way now?
Yeah, they have a downtown loop, and then they have different loops. But the good thing about it, we knew that the loop we was on, we looked at the map and we just followed the red. They were color coded, so that's good.
I say they need to be like IKEA and have the arrows on the ground.
Yeah.
Go this way if you're trying to get to Milam. Go this way if you're trying to get to Prairie. Go that way if you want to just take the whole loop. So what we ended up doing, because we didn't know, is we ended up just taking the whole loop, which we started at the smoothie factory, which was by the elevator to go back to the street level. We ended up back at the circle. But, one thing that's fun about it is you can't tell that you're walking in a circle. So it's not like you're going around and around. You feel like you're going straight to the other streets or something, but you're not.
Yeah.
So I think that it's a good experience. But also, I think that if you live in Houston, or if you're visiting Houston and you have your kids with you, I think they would enjoy having an underground tunnel that they can go in. And the hallways were big. They were huge, right?
Yeah, and they were ventilated. So if it's not, most people think when they walk in the tunnel, they might get hot. But some tunnel ways that we went through, like some of the hallways are like, air coming through the vents at the top.
Yeah. I like that. And then I like that the hallway areas were very, 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 very well lit.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed, but did you notice that every time we would go to a new hallway, there was a door that could be closed off and shut?
Yes, I did.
And the reason I was looking at that is because I thought, okay, I wonder at 10 o'clock when everybody's closed, all the companies are done, the salon is gone home, I wonder if there's a guy or girl or just a person that has to go in and lock up the entire system, so that, let's just say you and I are playing a little footsie games and we decided to go hang out and hide from them, and everybody's gone. We decided we're gonna sleep in the tunnel tonight. Like, would we just be stuck in our area?
I
Or
think
do
so.
they just leave it open for just everybody? Because you can't imagine that you would leave it open for just any person. Because there's strange people in the world. So you would not want to be the first one to get to work to open up the smoothie factory and there's like somebody there.
Yeah, I wish that Kolache factory was open, but the place we went and got a smoothie was really good.
Oh my goodness, it
It
was so
was right
good.
when we came in, but we got it on the way out.
But you know what I liked about that smoothie factory is that she took her time to do it.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't in a rush. She put it together good. We told her what we wanted. She took care of it one by one. I liked her. And then the big old cup for $5, I was like, whoa. It was nice. It was really, really nice. And I'm gonna tell you something. I like the fact that they don't put no yogurt in it. They don't put no sugar. They don't put any fake stuff. Because when I got it, it tastes literally like I had picked
juice,
up
yeah.
and I just started eating the peach. There were no fake sugars. It was all natural. I was like, this was worth my $5 and something. And I tipped her because I was like, okay, I like what I got. So the point of that is too, if you work downtown, you don't have to think, oh my gosh, I'm never going to get over to the grocery store and get my groceries, because you do have food places down there that serve healthier stuff. So if you're on a smoothie or liquid diet or something, boom, you got your place right there, $5. Some of those restaurants down there had some nice big old looking good salads and stuff. So you don't have to think that everything is either Mexican food or Italian food or, like heavier foods for your stomach. They pretty much had everything you need. Now, I'm going to tell you where they could win downtown Houston. You know how they could win downtown?
The what? Oh, yeah. I heard you talking about
I know 15 minutes away this is available, but I'm talking about for somebody like me who would not want to ever leave the house, if they put a grocery store down there. Yeah. If they would put an express, let's just say an express HEB store down there on the bottom of one of those high rises or something, man, they would make a killing, because see, then people don't have no reason to get into traffic and go to because the closest one there would be the one that's right there in the Heights, which is right there, the one we passed by the Target and all that.
Oh yeah.
You still gotta get in your car. You gotta drive over to it, pack up the groceries, come back, unpack the groceries. They had a grocery store. I'm telling you, in my apartment in Louisiana, I used to get off the elevator, go get my groceries. If I had a lot of stuff that I was getting, I would take the basket back upstairs, 6th floor, come back down, bring the basket. I never had to see anybody, talk to anybody. I didn't have to leave and go out in the elements or anything. I could just stay right there. And especially on those days when it was raining. I wasn't going to go get in that car and go drive all the way to Walmart, which was about 10 minutes away, which is nothing. But I still had to get from downtown first, then get on the freeway, then go Dixon College Drive. So it's like, yeah.
That's what most people look for, is convenience when they move into places. But that might be a good idea, actually. I think they got room for it.
And I'm talking about an express store that wasn't so expensive that they felt like they were going to like Whole Foods or something like that. I'm talking about like an express HEB or an express Kroger or something where you would have your essentials and things, and not the specialty stuff, but your essentials, where if you just wanted to keep at least some salads and some beverages or whatever in your house, if they had a grocery store, because I did not see a grocery store downtown. Now they got convenience stores, but we all know when we go in a convenience store, we know what the deal is, right? You're gonna pay way more.
That's true.
Way more. But if they had a grocery store, and all they have to do is, just like they have these companies that are up under on the first floor of these high-rise apartments, all they have to do is just do just like they did with the store in Louisiana. Just put the store downstairs and then let the apartments be upstairs, and then people that live in the surrounding apartments, because within a 4-block radius of a circle, there were 4 different high-rise apartments. So one of them was 17 stories high. So if it's 17 stories high and we made a block, we're talking about at least 100 to 150 units in there, because they don't be that big, right? So 150 people at least could shop at the store times 4 other units. You got almost 500, and we're not even counting the people who just work downtown and don't live there. They would also get their groceries, and then they would go home with the groceries without having to get out of traffic. Then groceries, they could just get it and then just spend the time in the traffic and get home. That's how they could absolutely win, because when people live downtown, they have to think about it. They're also looking at what convenience can they have, for their lifestyle down there as well. They don't want to have to all the major stuff you got to get on a highway to go and get it, So it would just be a good idea. But What was your favorite thing about the tunnel? Because I think mine was just walking the hallways, because I felt like I was, back in high school or something.
Um, I think it was seeing all of the different restaurants, because it would be really hard to get tired of the different types of food they have, because they have stuff from, I think I saw they had a pho place, they had a green juice place, they had Mexican food. It was just saying, I mean, they had different banks, they had all kind of stuff. I couldn't find the cupcake place, but I think it was just seeing the variety of stuff that they have for people that live right there. And just
Or it could have been coming soon or something, because the three of those little shops are still closed. So they could have been like advertising like coming soon, or they could be bringing that, they have the cupcake vendor machine, which I would never purchase anything. And I know you wouldn't either, because you had an incident with your hot chocolate, and we ain't going to talk about it here. But
and not even that, I don't eat cupcakes like that.
Exactly. So I know you ain't going to buy nothing out of vendor machine. But yeah, I don't think there was anything lacking in variety of food. I did like the fact that there wasn't any fast food places down there. I did like that. Save that for the other part of the cities, but don't put no McDonald's downtown or anybody. Hey, I bet you Chick-fil-A could make a killing down there, couldn't they?
Oh yeah, they're not all people. They for sure would.
They would make a killing downtown. Now, I still feel like it was too quiet down there. So it makes me wonder how many people actually work down there and live down there. We're talking a handful of maybe 1,000, or are we talking 5,000?
Yeah, we went on a weekday, so I wonder if it's more busier and more like louder during the weekend. Well, are they even open during the weekend? Because I know it's connected to like an actual office building where people were working.
I would say restaurants and stores absolutely open, but I wouldn't think any of those oil companies and banks are open on the weekend. And that was the other thing that I thought was interesting. We saw 3 banks, and I was like, oh, there's 3 banks down here. It was Chase, there was Wells Fargo, and then there was another bank. And I said, oh, that's kind of cool. They have 3 banks down here. So I guess for example, that could have been Chase Bank's headquarters. We don't know.
That's
because
true.
there's space in there. Again, some of those buildings are 17 stories tall, so somebody's doing something in those buildings. And then we know there's a lot of oil companies and government offices and things like that, and it's right over a couple of blocks over from the police station, so we know there's a lot that is going on downtown. But I still didn't get the noise of the hustle and bustle. I didn't get the noise of there's a lot of movement going on. I felt like there was not a lot of movement downtown Houston for such a big city. And it's all about the hearing of it. Like, yeah, I heard the train, but how many people did you see standing there to catch the train?
Not even 2 people.
Exactly. That was confusing to me, because even during lunchtime, people be moving around. Even during, work hour time, people move around. I didn't get the feeling of movement. I didn't get that action that I needed.
And we got there maybe like 12, 1-ish.
Right. Even where we ate
on a Wednesday.
When we first got there, you would have thought that everything would have been crowded. We would have been in a line of like 40 people.
Yeah. Due to lunchtime, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I enjoyed the tunnel system, and I absolutely recommend it to especially the people who live here in Houston to just kind of make it a field trip where, I don't know. Again, I think you'd have to go on your Google search and find out if it's open on the weekend, but I would definitely say, when summer comes and maybe, you've got your kids that don't live here in Houston, or you've got the kids that are here, you get together and say, hey, here, let me give you a whole day scenario. You get them together and you give them their breakfast at home. Everybody eat breakfast at home, because we don't need you going hungry. You go in your car and you go downtown, you park, and you go into the tunnel system first. Don't eat first, because you already ate at home. You go into the tunnel system, you check it out, you enjoy it, take your pictures, do what you're going to do. You come out of the tunnel system, you get on the train, and you go over to Discovery Green. Over at Discovery Green, there's so many restaurants now. Fun stuff, not that expensive. Then Discovery Green has a little park where you can sit down and have a picnic. You can do yoga. They have about 15 different monuments of different fun artsy things that you can take pictures with. The Discovery Green Park is absolutely cute. They also have a little train for the little kids to ride. So you could make that a whole day. And then hopefully when you leave from downtown, they go home and go to bed for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
That's a whole fairy tale I just gave, but I just thought that would just be like, when you think about outings, I know when we were kids, we would do outings. Like my mom loved to go to the mall on the weekend. So our outings would be like this. You get up on Saturday morning, you clean up the house, you listen to that 78 record, 1978, but I'm talking about in size. The 78s and there was 45s. Listen to that Betty Wright, you clean up the house. After you clean up the house, all the girls will go to the beauty shop. After you go to the beauty shop, then we'll go to the mall. Stay to the mall till all day, get something to eat while you were out, or you had food when you got back to the house.
I would have never thought grandma'd be like that.
Yep, you had that food when you get back to the house, and you got back to the house at 5, 6, 7 o'clock. You get yourself ready, get your clothes out for church on Sunday, and you take yourself to bed. You get up on Sunday, you go to church. At 8 o'clock, you get home at 3 or 4. You get your clothes together for the week for school, not for Monday, for the whole week, and you go to bed. You gotta have some structure when you got children. Kind of sound like your upbringing, huh?
Yeah,
except I was the mother that did not like going to the mall. I hated the mall. You know what I didn't like about the mall was the back to school stuff. It was just too many people, especially when you got 4 children.
Tax-free weekend.
Cards, and Savon, he didn't like everything, and Josh liked everything, and you didn't know what you liked, and Peyton was just like, yeah, whatever you buy for me is fine. And then so it was just too many different personalities. So that's why then I started taking each individual shopping separately, because it's like, I'm gonna make this where life is gonna be great for me, because I have not liked going to malls because of the way we went to the mall just about every Saturday.
And then I think when we got old enough, I would take Peyton and Josh would take some.
Exactly. I even tried to pawn Peyton off on your grandma. Can y'all take her shopping? Because I can't do this. I'm not a shopper. It doesn't excite me. It doesn't bring me joy. I'm the shopper that I know what I want. I have a picture of it. I'm gonna go to the store where they say they sell it, and that's what I'm gonna get. I'm gonna show you the picture. You show me that. I'm gonna try it on if I feel like it won't fit, and then I'm gonna leave, because I'm gonna pass up all those 25 other stores, because I just came to get a shirt. I did not come to look. That's the kind of shopper I am. And if I could not shop at all and things just appear in my closet, that would be great. But I think I don't like the mall simply because we literally went to the mall every week. And it wasn't always buying stuff. It was sometimes window shopping. But after I was 14 and I had my own job and everything, then I would buy, the expensive stuff that I want, like the $65 Guess jeans and all of that. But I just feel like if you live in Houston and you want to kind of show your kids, even if you live in the outskirts, doesn't matter. I know I'm saying Houston, but I consider all outskirts of Houston. If somebody says, where do you live? You say, I live in Houston, but I'm out in this area, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that everybody should experience the downtown tunnel, because there will probably come a time where there may no longer be another tunnel, because if it gets flooded out again or something, it's a very expensive to kind of take care of something like that. But when the flood comes in like it did the last time, there's no elevator or no wall or nothing that's going to stop that water from getting down there. That's one of the reasons I'm pretty sure we don't have basements here.
Oh yeah, and I think they say our soil is too soft for basements.
It is. The way a guy explained our soil to me, he said our soil is gumbo. So if our soil is like the roux of a gumbo, it's you can, there's some places where they'll say it's like clay, but even clay, you can press it down. Because remember, Play-Doh, you can press that down. So if it's movable like that, it's kind of like, okay, well, we would never get away with having a basement, and not a lot of people convert their attics here into rooms or anything like that, because of where your air system is and all that stuff. But I felt like the tunnel was a great experience. If I had to grade it from a 1 to 10, I'm gonna stick with a 10, only because I'm excited that it's still there. It brought back kid memories. I didn't see the mall, so I don't know if it still exists down there. I'm gonna bet the answer to that is no. Simply because, again, I didn't hear any action going on down there. I didn't see hustle and bustle. You were shocked when I said, oh, we used to have a Macys downtown.
In the tunnel though, right?
No, not in the tunnel, on the outside streets. You were shocked.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, you said like it was like New York.
You were like, there was a Macy's down there. I'm like, two stores I remember the most was Macy's and Woolworth. Macy's and Woolworth.
I'm still amazed at that 5-story one in New York.
Well, you and I are going to take a trip to the Mall of America. Peyton and I had a trip to do it 2 years ago, and we ended up not doing it because the snowstorm up there, I think it's in Minnesota or somewhere. There was a snowstorm that we couldn't get from Texas to there. And we couldn't fly because all of the flights were grounded. So we said, okay, then we need to do it in the spring or the summer or something like that. And we wanted to make it a road trip because we actually want to shop and we don't want to have to fly our stuff back. We want to take the SUV, and shop from there. So we got to put that on our list. We got to go to Mall of America because.
Where's that at?
I think it's in Minnesota. If you look it up, it's probably Minnesota or something. But we had a whole plan. She was going to bring 2 friends with her. They were excited. I said, okay, it's good that I go with people who actually like to shop, because if they bring their own money and they want to shop, I don't mind going with you. It's just that I'm not going to get excited about you thinking I'm going to go and shop, because I don't have the excitement for it. But I do want to experience the Mall of America. Now, the other reason I want to experience the Mall of America is because they have a whole theme park.
Oh.
That happened when me and Savon went to Japan. We went to a restaurant and we went to go do some shopping and stuff. And we ended up running into a theme park. And we were like, and I looked at Savon and I said, I got to do it, right? He was like, oh my God. We went into the theme park and we rode the water rides. We rode the Ferris wheels. We played, he liked playing in the arcade game. So I just kind of sat down and was on my phone, sending pictures to my email, so in case my phone, got lost or whatever, I'd have all my pictures. And so he was playing arcade games forever, but we had fun. He was like, well, if you're gonna ride all these rides, then I get to play arcade game for an hour. I was like, I don't have no problem with that. I'm in Japan, child. Look where I gotta be. I was so excited. He was able to, get us the cab and all that, but we ran into a whole theme park that we didn't even have on our list of 100 things to do. We did 87 of them. We had to add that to it because we didn't even know about this theme park.
Wow.
And it was so cool. So, I love like when hotels have malls attached to them, when there's like a surprise theme park that you didn't even know was there. Because if it's
like
I'm getting on it.
That one in California where that Walmart was attached to that mall.
Yes. In Crenshaw. It's no longer there.
I know. I remember you telling me.
Yeah, last time I went over there to go to the Faja place, and I was going to the Ross because I always go to Ross. It's in Long Beach, California. Every time I go to that Ross, I always have to go to that, but it's not there anymore. I think that's the first time you ever had In-N-Out Burger was in Long Beach when we were all there. But so many good memories. But I think that this tunnel thing is going to be a good memory for me. So if I don't ever go into the tunnel again, I can say, we used to go when I was a kid, and also I was able to take my oldest daughter to the tunnel, so I can say that I kind of passed a little bit of a tradition down, if you think about it. So now you will have to take your child to the tunnel in 500 years.
My nieces and nephews, not my child, girl. Y'all always trying to sneak children on me. I rebuke.
You're rebuking every child now? Every child?
I'll take my nieces and nephews for sure.
Well, here's the deal then. Maybe you'll get a boyfriend that'll have like 6 children and y'all could take them.
It was a bit much for me.
I know, right? 6. Okay, first of all, what you doing?
Might as well open up our own daycare.
Exactly. So the tunnel, though, again, it was clean, right? It was very clean.
It really was.
It was very well lit. I felt safe that if I had gone by myself, I wouldn't have had a problem. Nobody bothered anybody. And we saw a lot of people down there. I don't know what's going on, but I saw like 2 or 3 different dentist shops down there. So there's a lot of dentists.
Oh, yeah. We went up to
doing all kinds of stuff. They got a couple of walls that have a couple of memorabilia. One of them was one of the boxers, old time boxers that used to be here. I thought for sure when you saw the boxing gloves, it was going to be George Foreman, since he's from here, but it was
in the window thing. Yeah,
it was somebody way before him, and I was like, oh, I don't know that person. I took a picture of it too, but I thought it was a really good experience. Again, I felt safe. I didn't feel like nobody bothered us. And it's not just because there was no homeless people, just people were minding their own business, which is the world I love living in.
Yeah.
I love living in a world where people mind their own business and nobody bothered us or anything. They saw me with the camera, but I made very sure that, you know, I wasn't hiding like I was trying to video anybody or anything. I was videoing the walkway of what we were involved in. But would you go to the tunnel again if your friends asked you to come go downtown, since they already knew about it anyway? But you know.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
And I would probably try the food places that was down there.
What would you try that was down there? The burritos place?
Yeah, because I think I get that place with Angry Birds mixed up. I mean, Angry Birds, Firebird.
Well, I know for sure you went to burritos, because when you first asked me, this was like you right out of high school. You said, "Have you been to that burritos on 19th?" You said, "Oh my God, those burritos are so." You were like, "They're so huge," and I was like, "No, I've never been there. And plus, I don't like to eat big food like that."
Yeah, that was around the time people were crazy about Chipotle.
Yes, you told me that burritos was real good and that you liked them though.
I only went to Chipotle once.
No, I'm talking about burritos. You told me you liked them. They were good. Yeah,
I like Firebirds too, but I would have tried one of those pho places that I saw. I would have tried burritos.
And maybe even the oyster place might have had some charbroiled ones. We don't know.
I know, because you got to be it's kind of tricky with them oyster bars. Some of them just do the raw ones.
I can't.
I don't do that. So
yeah, that right there takes me to a whole nother world of where I don't want to live.
Yeah.
I mean, just even looking at raw oysters, my mind goes, I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do that. And I'm gonna stick to that because something about it is my brain.
Charbroiled is where it's at.
Well, the one is that what you and I had?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So I'm down with that one. So I've had fried oysters and.
No, we can do our own. They got oysters at HEB. We just have to put them on the grill, though.
I'm not finna try. I'll go back to that place. You said they have multiple locations too, right?
Cinco Ranch and Memorial City Mall.
I would go back to Cinco. That's what I would probably do. Well, I'll tell you, it was a delight to be able to go downtown, and I would definitely suggest anybody who hasn't experienced it. Yeah, this right here was the white wall when the girl and check it out. I marked it off of my bucket list the same day, and I was just took my bucket list out and said I was going to work on it this weekend and just
You're at work.
I get to see you.
Facebook or anything, you can type in bucket list ideas and it'll give you a lot of ideas. I even have books, 100 things you should do before you die, 50 things to do before 50, all of that, and all that kind of jazz. So if you really want to check out some things, and, like Angie, me and you, when you would travel with me, the first thing I would say is, ooh, let's find a cave, right?
Yes.
Ooh, let's find a place we can go zip line. There's just some things that I'm gonna do when I go to certain places. I've been in 6 caves already. 2 in Texas. 1 in Mexico. Well, I've done it in Mexico twice.
Which one did I go with you with? Where was that at?
You went with me in Arkansas.
That's what I thought, yeah.
So you went in the Ozarks into the cave. Now, me and Peyton went to the coolest cave I've ever been to in Missouri last year. Girls, they drive you through the whole tunnel cave on a little train.
Oh, that would have been nice.
Very nice. And everything. It was so much fun.
Yeah, when I pulled it up online, there's a girl.
I'm telling you, that train in Missouri, that's the first thing I told her. I said, I know they got caves out here in Missouri. Let's find one. We found one and went into the cave because when we went to Eureka Springs.
But it'd be too much walking, so I'd rather have like a little scooter that I could sit on.
Yeah, because it was just an hour from Arkansas, right?
Yeah,
I think this must have been the wall she was on because it looks like it.
Find out also if maybe in your city or in your town you have some type of, what did they call it online? An underground tunnel system?
Yeah.
Yeah, see if there's some kind of underground tunnel system I like the underground tunnel in New York. I liked the underground train and tunnels that were in Japan. I've liked every cave that I've gone in. There's something about the underworld that is interesting to me. I just find that there can be a whole something else going on underground where we're up here on top, just like above and below, and then we're here on the surface. So I find all of that very fascinating. So maybe Angie will also do another cave, not one that we've already been to, because we've already been to the cave. We've already been to the one in Bernie, Texas. So maybe we'll do a cave in some other location. We do have some exciting adventures coming up. We don't want to talk about them for now, but we will be showing you some exciting things just for the month of December. We have also a special show that we have set up for December. I'll go ahead and let the cat out of the bag before we go here. But we do have a series that we're going to do this December. And this December, our series is going to be a challenge for us. We've put a challenge together for me and Angie. We're going to challenge ourselves to do one podcast a day. So that'll be 31 podcasts for the month of December. And our theme is things that every woman should know. It's going to be a variety of things. Angie might say some things that I don't even know about. So I don't know. But just things that every woman should know, from this to that to the other thing. I don't want to mention any of them. We got already our titles together, and we're going to be excited to present that to you in the month of December. Also, December, we have a very exciting excursion that we're going to be presenting to you, and we're just going to make that absolute fun for you to be able to view. We want to bring you the best that we can, and while you're listening to the podcast, make sure you share the podcast, because we definitely want you to share. We want you to patronize our sponsors, Certified Hemp Hut and Burgatti Collection. If there's anything that you see there that you want, definitely patronize those companies. They are small businesses and making it on their own. Even through the pandemic, they've been successful with what they're doing with their business. And what else should they do, Angie?
Like, subscribe, definitely share our content with other women that you know that definitely can relate and be inspired by the content that we post. Comment on our content as well, just so we can be able to engage back with you.
Absolutely. And in our show description, we'll have some little nuggets in there too. So start reading our show description, because we may have some links to some places. If you want to donate to our podcast Cash App is $MDI podcast. That's $Mary Dog Idea Podcast. So that's MDI. So that's $MDI podcast. Donate to our podcast. It gives us great opportunities to bring you the best of everything that we can bring you. We're very curious about going places, seeing things, networking with other women, especially other women podcasters, and your donations will help us to build up our apprentice program, because we do have a program that we want to do for our young, a secret box, and just letting them know how wonderful they are just as they're growing up. And this is for our girls that are under the age of 15. So we do want to start that program for 2022. So your donations do help us with that. And until next time, bye for now.
Bye.